Hello and welcome to episode 184 of Nintendo Therapy, a show about the latest news and rumors, plus a celebration of all things Nintendo. This week, we're diving into some of the latest Nintendo stories, including SimCity being added to the Nintendo Music app, and we're bringing back Nintendo Item or Not to see if we can tell the real Nintendo items from the fakes. We're also taking a look at some of the biggest Switch 2 beta and playtests, including From Software's Duskbloods and Call of Duty, and what these games could mean for Nintendo's new console. Plus, we'll briefly discuss the massive GTA 6 leaks and why being critical of the industry's biggest companies doesn't mean we have to support everything that happens to them. We'll wrap things up with this week's spotlight game, Wolf of the Battlefield Mercs for the Sega Genesis. Let's go! And welcome back, guys. My name is Harrison. Thanks so much for joining us today. And joining me is Kevin
Hello.
and Sean. Welcome back.
I'm here again, and SimCity, huh? It's an interesting choice.
Yeah, we don't normally talk about the games that are added to Nintendo Music, but I wanted to put that in the notes this week because I felt like this one stood out a little bit. Mainly because you guys know I have been wanting SimCity to get added to Nintendo Switch Online forever.
So you
And it
think it's
just
coming?
I hope this means it's still in the land of the possibilities because I looked into it and there's I don't really know how to put this into a quantifiable term, but it's the only game they've added so far that doesn't have any Switch representation at all. Like they have
Okay.
music on there from the first Animal Crossing game, and obviously the first Animal Crossing game isn't on Switch, but Animal Crossing is on Switch. There are no SimCity games currently available for Switch. So, and I looked at the full list, it's the only one that's like that. Everything on there is either on Nintendo Switch Online or has a something in its franchise that's available on Switch. No SimCity. There's spin-off games of SimCity, like The Sims and stuff like that, but not SimCity. So, yeah, I really hope this means that we can get SimCity on Nintendo Switch Online because that is such a comfort game for me. It's like the perfect game that you can play while watching a movie or listening to a podcast where you like only barely kind of have to pay attention to what's going on, you know? Um, if they put it on there, I'll be playing it before bed every night to just unwind. It's one of those games.
I can't think of the last time I played that version.
I like it a lot. Once you understand the mechanics, which there's actually like tons of YouTube videos like breaking down the science of like how to build the perfect city, and there are people who way deep dove into that game more than I have, but they break down exactly the strategies you should have of like build four commercial zones and then build four industrial and then like just exactly how to map it out. Don't build any roads. Always build everything as the mass transit. I forget what it's called, the little train tracks. Because if you don't have any roads, you can't have traffic. So there's no traffic complaints. It's
Yeah, okay.
it's like little things like that where they've broken down exactly how to get the perfect city. And then the game
You
also
know,
has like all those scenarios where like you can start a city that's like on fire and you have to like rebuild it and to a point where people will move back.
because they have it that Bowser attacks, right? That was one of the things.
So on the PC version, it was Godzilla, and Nintendo being Nintendo, they made it Bowser attacking the city. So now it
Cool.
makes a
You
little
know,
more sense.
I'd like to see that go on the service. Just
I
it'd be something
remember
different.
that was also an example of not understanding sarcasm as a kid, because when Bowser attacks the city, the dialogue they give you is it says something to the effect of Bowser is attacking the city. Quick, somebody find Mario. And I remember my friend Nick and I, you know Nick, we tried everything. We were like, how do you get Mario? couldn't
What
figure
do
it
you
out.
build to get Mario?
Because there is a Mario statue in the game too, which throws a curveball at it. But yeah, it's just supposed to be a joke.
I thought it was already on the service, but
It's not.
maybe it was, maybe I'm thinking of a segment where we did games that we wish were on the service, and then in my
Could be.
mind it was already there.
I
Um,
also like put it in the same category as Pilot Wings, of like old school SNES games I relax with, and that is on the service. So maybe I talked
Pilot
about it
Wings
in a
is not
conversation.
relaxing at all.
I think it
Like,
is. The
you're
music
insane.
is so relaxing, dude. It's that dun 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 dun. You know.
The gameplay is not relaxing.
That's the Pilot Wings music. Uh, but yeah, it's you know why I think
fun
it's relaxing is
music.
because you could just keep trying. You know, you crash, you fail, you try again.
Well,
It
you do
doesn't
that
send
in
you back to the beginning of the game.
roguelikes. It's sort of relaxing for some of us.
Yeah, there you go. It's a roguelike.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, like I don't know, like I feel like you're describing most games, like
No, some of
like
them make you replay a lot of progress. Is what I'm saying. Is that if you fail the test, because you have to get a passing grade to make it to the next section. If you don't get
Right.
the passing grade, you just try again. It doesn't send you back to the earliest certification. So
I
there's
don't
no
know,
pressure.
I don't know, it's like I've never played Hollow Knight and been like, oh, they put me back on a bench. That's relaxing, you know. Like I don't know, like
Well, that
Well, think of also like the jetpack, for example. I'll go through a few of the events. The jetpack, it's relaxing because it's just brrr, and then you float,
and then you
and
miss
then
the target if you're
brrr,
me. Yeah.
and then you float. And then same thing with the hang glider. You just tap, 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 tap. It's relaxing to me, okay? It doesn't have to, I'm not telling you guys you
Yeah,
have to play it.
it's fun. I
so,
know you like it. I'm terrible at it. I mean, the
Same thing with
N64
landing the plane. Tap, 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 tap,
tap.
tap. Slow down.
I
Slow down.
like flight sim, so I'm good. I just
I like
Until that
Pilot
final
Wings
mission where they
64.
randomly make it into like a commando game where you gotta like fly a combat helicopter in the jungle while they're firing at you. Like it's a completely different game at the end.
all right. We got a table pilot of wings. So you mentioned, all right. So SimCity, that would be
Yep.
cool. You mentioned Animal Crossing, and I think to me that would be the number one game for me that could be added to the service that I would love to see, but I don't think it would happen.
I want
Like,
because they put the Japanese only games on there. I still want Animal Forest, which I know that's one they're never gonna do, but it would be so cool.
but okay, like that could be it for you. But like, how about like Sean? How about for you? Like, what's a game that could realistically be added to the service that you would love, but you don't think it's going to be added to the service ever?
Well, I mean, Godzilla's getting a remake now, so that's not going to happen. But I'd like Rampage World Tour. Like,
That's a
figure
good one.
that out.
That'd
I
be cool.
really would love to play that again. So
My ultimate game that won't ever come to the service would probably be Shadows of the Empire, though.
that would be awesome,
Yeah.
but it's never going to happen. And I don't
Another
know,
Star
like
Wars
that.
reference. We should just start keeping track of them.
Yeah, but Shadows of the Empire would make perfect sense, especially with the 50th anniversary next year of the franchise.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not going to happen. They're not going to. There's no money to be made there for Disney because how much is Nintendo going to pay them to just dump that on the cert?
Especially since it's considered Legends now.
Right. So
Guys,
it's not even canon. So what's next?
so the video is on now. I got a fun segment for you guys, but let's do the logical order and talk about some news items for today, and you can just give me whatever takes you got on it. Let's kind all right. Let's do the ones that are attached to Nintendo, and then I gotta say one thing about the biggest video game news item for the week, but we're starting with Duskbloods for today. Duskbloods, we know, has the open beta test. Saw quite a few videos on it of people that got to play it. And it is a PvP PvE, but there is a lot going on, which
Yeah,
is which is
yeah,
my
there is.
which is my just initial reaction. Like we got
So I
go
I
ahead. Yeah.
was really happy they did these deep dive videos, and you're gonna go through it because now I know what the game is, and unfortunately, it's not for me. Like, it sounds like a really cool idea, and I think it just basically boils down to PvP is not my favorite part of Souls games. I think I did a little of it in like Dark Souls 3, but like Bloodborne, I just get people to come in and help me. And then the more important thing is just I don't have time to get good at it. So because it's such a multiplayer focused game, I know I'm not going to get my money's worth out of it. So that was a little disappointing. But it's a really cool idea. Like I like all the stuff I read, so it sounds interesting.
It sounds interesting. It looks surprisingly good at this for where it's at for like this point. Like even though it's a From Software game, I'm surprised that an open beta test is like looking this good. Not the perfect like review all around as expected because it is a test and we'll see how like the online support of it goes. But yeah, I like between like the leveling, the just everything that you kind of have to do in it. I was kind of just lost. Like there's different objectives, you have to hunt bosses, there's different collectibles you have to get throughout the game. Uh and I
Yeah, I
just
thought that was interesting how they broke that down though, because it's a 30-minute match, I think, and it has different phases as it goes. And then the end phase is player versus player. So whoever's left like gets the most reward. I guess it sounded almost like they took Overwatch and matched like their PvP into it.
yeah. Yeah, I think so. So with that, I think it has to be one of the most talked about and maybe one of the most controversial games that's going to be coming out in this like past year or so because Bloodborne was such a huge game from Software, such a huge company. This is a Switch exclusive title, which is just incredible. And I think it will be a good game, but I just don't know if people are tired of the PvP yet or the PvE or I just think
I
that
I
yeah.
think there's an audience for this. I don't know, 'cause you and I have talked about this on the show, and I know Kevin's not a Souls guy, so this is a
Or an
lot.
online multiplayer guy. You
Yeah.
got me.
Right.
You lost
Yeah.
So,
me on two
I'm
fronts.
I'm I'm definitely not. Um
but I don't know how many systems it's gonna move. I mean, there's definitely the people who are gonna get every From Software game no matter what, because like I didn't get Night Rain for the same reason because it was really multiplayer focused and I wasn't ever gonna get good at it, so it didn't make sense to get it. But
I
I
I
like I said, I think the idea of it's really interesting. I like everything I've heard about it. It's just at this point I'm never gonna get around to being able to get okay at it. Do you think it's a system seller? Or do you think this is just gonna be for the hardcore From Software people and maybe it
well
gets them to get a Switch?
then I think you're saying two things at the same time because like I have friends who will buy a Switch 2 because they are From Software people. So
Okay.
in that case, I think it is a system seller. but not
Okay.
as much as like if you were to give us like a real strong single player experience though. Like it's not Elden Ring 2. Like we know that. But it's not Bloodborne though, but at the same time, yeah, I do think it does sell for the people who there's a lot of From Software like diehards out there. So this game is a lot different than any other exclusive Nintendo game we've gotten so far. So not for me, not for anyone on this show. Um, but man, From Software needs to do a Zelda game. Just gonna keep saying that.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
like
I'm hoping it does well, and maybe they can develop something else with Nintendo. Because there's an article or a few articles interviewing with Miyazaki that said that Nintendo were the only ones who were on board really with doing this game. I don't know 100% the details of that, but so I'm hoping it's going to lead to more stuff because we've got Elden Ring end of the month. So
yeah.
they're getting more into, partnering up together. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we get a Zelda game from them. That'd be
I
cool.
don't know. I don't know what that conversation is because I have to imagine, From Software makes a game, everyone's like at least a little bit interested in it. But yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, I hope so, and it would be, we've said on here, it would be a cool full circle moment because Elden Ring was so inspired by Zelda and Breath of the Wild that, um, yeah, like if Nintendo was like, "Come on, let's go!" Like, here's the assets, you develop, um, one of the Zelda games. So that was one of the news items. Um, that's exciting. I don't. We still don't have a release date. It's supposed to be
No,
2026, but
the September release date is not the release date according to Nintendo. So
yeah.
I would think October would make sense
And
with it being kind of horror themed.
I was predicting for no reason November. So I assume it's this year, but I think it's gonna be talked about a lot. I think it's gonna cause a good bit of controversy, no matter if it's good, bad, whatever it is. The other beta test that I put in our notes is Call of Duty had Switch 2 beta test, but I don't know I didn't see as many people have this. And from the gameplay that I saw, it looks decent. It doesn't look like the best version of Call of Duty, but it looks even from like not perfect, but even from what I saw just from the beta test, good enough. Like, good enough for if somebody wants to play Call of Duty on a handheld. So, you talked about like system sellers. I do think having this on a Switch 2 is a system seller because um, I know plenty of people, they play Call of Duty and NBA 2K or Call of Duty and Fortnite or whatever it might be. And when they are in the market for a new system, they might just get Call of Duty because might get a Switch 2 because they're like, oh, I can get Call of Duty and I can get all the Mario games that I want to play as well. So I think yeah, it's holding up surprisingly well, and I'm interested to see what they do with mouse support and what the online support looks like overall, like any online uh Switch game.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't. Does Call of Duty do cross-platform currently?
That's a good
I
question.
know none of us play it, so
Good question.
no one knows. But I'm curious
I
if
have
they.
one Call of Duty game that came with my PS4 and it's still in this plastic wrap. So
Oh, there you go. You're getting a lot out of that. But yeah, I mean, I haven't played one since Modern Warfare 2 when it came out the first time, so I kind of fell off it. But I think it's just good in terms of just something else that's available on the system. I know that the meme is now Nintendo is a real game console again because it has Call of Duty, but I'm curious how it'll do.
And
You need Madden too,
uh,
which I think it might have. Didn't they
It
make a
has
big deal
Madden.
about that coming over? Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
it has
Yeah,
Madden.
yeah.
Yeah, it has Madden,
Switch
but I,
2's
I I don't know if it. Did it get updated? I I remember hearing about it when it first
again,
came out. Uh,
another game we all play all the time.
right.
So
I mean, used to play Madden. Wish I could play Madden all the time. Like wish I had that in my life, but no, don't have that. So yeah, I mean, I've said on here before, never on here to talk about like, oh, Nintendo's the best because they make the most money. But to me, as a consumer, Call of Duty is on Switch. I don't want to play it, but if more people buy the Switch 2 system, that just means more games that come to the Switch 2 system, and some of those games are ones that I will want to play. But not that one. Thought it was pretty cool though. Now I gotta talk about it. I gotta talk about it because um the biggest news item in video games by far this week was GTA 6. And I just gotta say it for a moment because I'm not gonna do like any other videos or anything about GTA 6. So I'm doing it here, all right? So um apparently they got a hold of a whole build of the game. So the fact that there are leaks is not surprising. The extent of this leak is pretty spectacular. Like the fact they have like a whole build of the game, and just the whole like ransom part of it, because I guess the leakers are upset that there's no physical games. There's no physical games anymore, and you're putting out pre-orders. You're putting out pre-orders for a game that you're not even showing off yet. And I guess they're mad about that, you know? And speaking of which, I'm pretty sure pre-orders are over 5 million units for GTA 6 already. That is I don't think we're prepared for what this release is going to be like. We haven't had a game that everyone's playing at the same time for a really long time. Um so as much as like I'm like the guy that's on this podcast that is being critical of these corporations, I wish people online would just acknowledge that these two things are separate. And like you could like leakers could leak every single game ever, and it's not going to change um how physical media is being treated or how consumers are being treated. I think it's just one of those stories that can make people feel good, like, oh, it's the Robin Hood, like we're doing something, we're taking it to the man, but overall it doesn't impact anything. So did you
I,
guys see any
I
of this
agree.
week?
Yeah, I agree. And I might have said it on this podcast. I don't know. I say the same thing all the time about Marvel movies when they have like major leaks and plot leaks and things that come out. People are like, oh, like it ruined the whole movie. This movie's gonna tank now, and this game is gonna tank now. And it's like you are vastly overestimating how many people are this locked in to that particular subject that they even know about the leak before you get into how many people looked into it.
I'd say
It's
Spider-Man had leaks and it's at
yeah,
$2 billion.
leaks are for a very specific core group of people that are locked in already. And yeah, you're going to get a handful of people outside of that it gets spoiled for. But I'm going to say the average person who's going to be buying GTA 6 or buying a ticket to the next Marvel movie is not reading news sites about this stuff. They're like, oh, a new Grand Theft Auto game. Awesome. I can't wait. Period. They're not looking any further into it than that.
It's
So that's
real.
my 2 cents.
Yeah.
So is
Eh,
that the theme this week is games we don't play? Because I'm gonna be one of the only people on the planet who didn't buy GTA
Yeah.
6.
Well, I'll play GTA 6. I've just said that I'm not going to be like in a hurry to play it because it's probably the GTA game. There's not going to be a GTA 7 soon after that where I'm like, oh, I have to play this game now. You I could
The
you
best
could
thing I've seen
yeah.
about GTA 6 article-wise is somebody, I don't remember who, but once that comes out, there's the period in history before GTA 6 and there's the period in history after it. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's gonna be the highest selling piece of media ever, and
It
nothing will ever do that again. So,
You know what
yeah.
else it's like? It's like when they would leak the Smash Brothers characters that were coming, and people like, "Oh, the announcement is ruined now." And it's like the majority of players are going to get an announcement that a new character is available, and that's the day they find out.
Yeah. And leaks also, even if you're involved in the leaks, I was kind of avoiding it and then I looked at it. Um, Even me who wants to play it, the leaks make the game, I think, look good. And Rockstar has a good reputation of, whatever we show off is what we're going to be giving you. So there's a good amount of, at least for me, there's a good amount of confidence there. So um, just how quickly Rockstar responded, I was like, "This is real." Because, like, there are so many concept videos and AI videos out there, but, like, seeing the response of how quickly they were issuing takedowns, I was like, "Oh, this is, like, they got everything. Wow. Okay." I wonder if they've played any of it. Huge news item for the week. Um, not one where I would be saying like, oh, I think the company they leaked it themselves to create news. They don't need to create news around this game at all. So yeah. So
like you
got
said, they still haven't shown gameplay of this game yet. It's already pre-ordered 5 million copies. So that's how strong that brand is
what's gonna
it
happen
doesn't
day
matter.
one? Like I can remember how big GTA 5 was day one. That was big. This is gonna be exponential. This is gonna be multiple times bigger than that. So, I mean, what happened? Like, it's gonna crash servers. It's gonna crash Steam. I don't think people are ready for it. So,
Gonna crash cars.
definitely gonna crash cars. So, my fun segment for y'all today is one I'm bringing back after a while. It's called Item or Not. Let's see how much you guys know Nintendo. Let's see if you guys are Nintendo fans or Nintendo experts. The only rule is that I will give some descriptions for people who are on audio only. So um, that's it. All right. Round one is the bunny hood, and this is from Majora's Mask, a mask that gives Link the speed of a rabbit, making it one of the most useful masks for getting around Termina quickly. I'm saying that right? Totally slipped my mind.
Yeah,
All right,
Termina. Termina.
um, Kevin, is this an item or not?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's for sure an item. I just finished a playthrough of Majora's Mask where I think I wore that mask for 80% of the game because I want to get there quickly.
It's a
I
real
thought it was just a
mask.
Smash item. So
No, they basically took the run button or the stamina in Skyward Sword when you can run, and they tied it to this mask. You got to be wearing the mask.
alright.
And right, and it's referenced in other other games as well. We started easy. That's round number one. Sean, I'll go to you first for this next one. Then, this is the star fragment from Paper Mario. It's a rare celestial item that supposedly increases the power of your next star spirit attack when it's used in battle. Is the star fragment from Paper Mario real or not real?
It sounds made up from your description, so I don't think it's real.
Item or not? Kevin, item or not?
I don't think that's real. That doesn't sound familiar.
It is a fake item. Um,
Woo!
I did for the fake out. I did use a blackout star fragment from Animal Crossing, but that is a fake item. All right, you guys are 2 for 2 now. All right, let's do one more. Yes, one more Zelda one. Okay, Golden Bug, Twilight Princess. It's a special golden insect hidden throughout Hyrule. Collecting pairs and returning them to Agatha earns you rewards. I'm just messing up all of my names today. The Golden Bug from Twilight Princess. Kevin, is it an item or not?
Oh, it is. And I've spent multiple playthroughs. I've completed that quest multiple times, and a lot of it is you spent hearing the chime that the bug will play when you're like close to it, but you don't know exactly where it is. And you're like, where is this damn bug?
I was gonna go with no, but okay.
All right. 3 for 3. The Zelda parts are done. Sean, this will be for you next. This is the Super Evolution Stone from Gen 2 Pokemon Gold and Silver. It's not the like Leaf Stone, Thunderstone, Firestone. This is the Super Evolution Stone, which is a rare stone that can be used on any Pokemon capable of evolving by stone, regardless of which stone normally triggers its evolution. So is this an item or not?
I'm gonna go with it is an item. It sounds like it would be for Pokemon.
Okay. All right. Kevin?
I will agree with my colleague.
I win. That's a fake item.
Ah!
It's not a real item. I, I win that round. I faked you out. It's
Speaking of Pokemon, I'll throw it in here. I downloaded Pokopia today. I haven't played it yet. As
oh
soon as we're done
man.
recording, though, I'm going upstairs and finally diving into Pokopia.
Yeah.
There we go.
That was my reward for finishing Lego Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I look forward to hearing about it next week. I do. I do. All right. Round number 5. You're you're 3-1 right now. 3 for 4. This is the Maxim tomato from Kirby. It's a large tomato that completely restores Kirby's health. Kevin, is this an item or not?
It is. It's also another one of those ones that carried into Smash.
It is an item that was carried in the Smash and like 20 Kirby games apparently. Because I
Yeah,
looked up where this item is used, and it's like every Kirby game, every Smash game. It's like not all of them though, because but a lot, like 20. Though a lot.
probably
All
not in
right.
Tilt and Tumble.
The moon fruit from Animal Crossing. All right, Sean. So the moon fruit is a rare fruit that only grows during meteor showers, and it sells for an unusually high price. So is the moon fruit from Animal Crossing an item or not?
No, that sounds like something Tom Nook made up. That doesn't sound like an Animal Crossing thing with my, hours and hours of Animal Crossing experience. No, I don't think it's an item.
Okay, okay. Okay, Kevin, the moon fruit.
If it exists, I've never heard of it, so I'm gonna go with no.
It's a fake. It's made up.
Okay.
That's a made up item. There's no fruit on the moon. There's cheese on the moon.
There's Fruit of the Loom.
There is fruit of the loom. Hey, I learned cornucopia from Fruit of the Loom. All right,
Yeah, yeah, that's a
I
Mandela
I,
effect. I
I can.
remember.
I was in
Most of them, I'm like, no, you guys, your memories are just terrible. But
I was in Walmart with my mom, and she pointed out to me, and she asked me like, what this was and everything. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all, it was a marketing thing. They did it for a year and it never came back. They will never admit it. Kevin, this is the Dark Light device from Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I think it's the Dark Moon. We'll say that. Okay, it's a device that reveals hidden objects and secrets that have been concealed by paranormal activity. Is this item real or not real?
Yeah, I think that if there that is a mechanic in Dark Moon, so I'm gonna say yes. I don't remember if you like changed the name of it slightly, and this is like close enough or something, but yeah, yeah, that's real.
I keep changing my verbiage. Sean, item or not?
Yeah, it sounds like it's an item. I'll go with it.
It is a real item. A
Yep.
real item. Good job, guys. All right, last round. You've only missed one today. And Sean, this last one is the Crystal Banana from Donkey Kong 64. The Crystal Banana is a rare banana that supposedly restores all of a Kong's health and special abilities. Is this an item or not?
I don't think it is.
Saying no. Kevin, item or not?
Sean would know, so yeah, I'm gonna go with no.
The Crystal Banana is not a real item.
All
So
right then.
I think you guys know
Gave
your
my Donkey Kong cred at least. So
Banana.
right, right.
it's
You
They
not
actually
banana
do. They do have crystal bananas in Donkey Kong
bonanza.
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 Yeah, actually.
Yeah, that's why I was like, wait a minute, that's not a
Yeah,
thing in that other game.
try to think of some like Star Fragment is one that it's used in Animal Crossing. I'm sure it's used in other Nintendo games. So I was trying to think of
Mhm.
ones that were like, oh, that
It's
sounds
like
like
the star
something
fragments in Mario Galaxy 2
Oh yeah.
and Mario Galaxy 2.
Yep.
in
Star
Mario
bits.
Galaxy 2 as
Anyway.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Like ones it's like, oh, that sounds like something that could be in something else, right? So good job, guys. Listeners, leave a comment down below. Let us know how many you got. And how about we do our spotlight for today?
So our spotlight for today, it's a Sega Genesis title. Some people call it Wolf of the Battlefield Mercs. In most places, it's just written
Merc.
as Mercs by itself. I figured out why. It's because it's the sequel to Capcom's earlier arcade game Commando, and Commando was released in Japan as Wolf of the Battlefield. So that is why there's an alternate, longer title. So most of the American version just says the word Mercs, though. If you grew up with the Sega Genesis, Mercs, it's a great example of the era when games didn't need to have complicated stories. They just needed to give you a gun, throw an unreasonable number of enemies at you, and let you go. Originally an arcade game from Capcom, Mercs is a top-down run-and-gun shooter where you blast your way through enemy soldiers, tanks, helicopters, and bosses to rescue a kidnapped president. What makes the Genesis version especially interesting is that its original mode, a campaign built specifically for the console with multiple stages, weapon upgrades, and rescued hostages. It's fast, chaotic, and unapologetically arcade like, rewarding you for constantly moving and shooting rather than carefully planning your next move. It may not reinvent the genre, but Mercs delivers exactly what you want from a game like this: guns, explosions, ridiculous enemy hordes, and just enough frustration to make you immediately hit start after dying. So this is another one in the long line of me saying that there was this difference between Super Nintendo and Genesis at the time. Of Genesis was way more like trying to be a home arcade, whereas the Super Nintendo was trying to take video games and see what you could do differently from the arcade.
Right, and I think this is a good example of a game that I think would be better in an arcade setting.
Hmm.
And I think there's a lot of good and bad in that. And that's what I thought about mostly when I was playing this game. It's like, 1990, it's a different time. The the appeal of having an arcade game in your home, I think, is much bigger. I mean, it was way bigger then than it is now. With that
Oh
being
yeah.
said, yeah, I think like in an arcade, I think I'd have a lot of fun. Other than that, with how this game is, without any sort of nostalgia, kind of generic, kind of flat. Like I can't help but think about what a modern version of this game could be like, and I just think there's a lot of options when it comes to games that are like this. For a game that is released in 1990, I don't think, graphics aren't the most important thing. And there's even modern run and gun games that use old school graphics. But even for a 1990 game, I think there's games that look better. So that's kind of my overall takeaway is that I had fun. I didn't. I kind of don't like the eight directional shooting that we have in some of these old games because we have the option of being able to control all the way around. I wish that was
Yeah.
different. I just
It's
wish that.
better to use the joystick than the D-pad for this one for sure, and that's probably because the Sega Genesis controller had those diagonal buttons.
Yeah, right. So I just wish it was different so that you could just rotate it all sort of around. But again, it's a much older game. So that's mostly my overall takeaway is it was kind of fun, but just nothing stood out too much to me. And I kept thinking about what if it was a roguelike. So, Sean, how about you? What do you think of it?
I had fun with it. I enjoyed it. I think this is a type of game that appeals to me a little more than you guys. It's funny that this came out before Contra 3 because I wish the top-down sections of Contra 3 were like this because those
Mhm.
are really like I actually can get motion sick playing Alien Wars when you have to do those sections. So I don't know, it was just fun. Like that's all it needed to be was fun. I mean, yeah, it's not the best looking game and the controls can be a little funky because the yeah. Well, even if this had been a Super Nintendo game, the D-pad wouldn't have been ideal for the eight directions, but I think it was worthwhile putting on the system just because Sega doesn't have a lot of representation. That still seems to be like the system on there they don't add as much to, but no, it was cool and kind of makes me hope maybe the original game will come over since it was a Japanese exclusive, so maybe we could see if that version's and sometimes we do like the quote unquote lesser version and they end up being a better game. That's how like so many of the Game Boy games have scored so well. But I liked it. I didn't think it was bad. So I put it at 66 just because I had fun with it. But I mean, the numbering's almost getting to be irrelevant now unless it's in top 20. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I oh, go ahead.
I just don't know, like, if it's still a benefit that I think it would be a fun arcade game, and that's where I stand with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Um, I put it at 110, and I would still recommend it for anyone going through Genesis and wants a great example of an arcade game that came over to a home console.
I put it one above the Peacekeepers. I don't know if you remember that was like a
Oh
run
yeah, I
and
remember
gun.
that.
So, side scrolling versus top down, but same philosophy.
Hmm?
And I thought this one was a little bit better. So that puts it at number 149. So it's better than something else that set out to do the same thing. We could say that about it.
I mean, it's no
Not,
bro force, so
it's
I'll give
nothing
you
you haven't
that.
seen before. Yeah.
You know,
It's
it's not doing anything innovative,
this is the
but I
type
think
of game that was on an arcade cabinet in the background of a movie, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
this was the cheapest game they could put in the background. Like it wasn't going to cost a lot for the rights. So,
Narc is in a lot of movies.
oh,
Speaking of
Narc
that.
was huge when it came out.
Yeah.
That's a game you'll never see on there. So,
All right, let's see what we're playing next time. I have no idea how to pronounce this. It's one of those Japanese games that we got. It's Sutti Haku for the Super Nintendo. Suttehakku. Sweetie Haku.
We'll figure out by next
Mystery.
week.
But next week we'll be experts on it.
we're not
So
experts. We're only fans.
exactly. And join us next week for our takes on that and anything else that's going on in the news. Who knows? We might have some more Ocarina of Time news by then. My instincts are telling me September 9th is when we're getting more information on that, just like the rumors say. But who knows? I'll leak the whole game just like the GTA 6 guy. I've got it. I've got all of Ocarina of Time from 1998, and I will leak it decades after the fact. Um anyway, thank you all for listening. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. If you've made it this far and you haven't subscribed, come on. We just gave you like an hour of content. It takes nothing. And we're not a channel who's going to flood your feed. Okay. We upload a video twice, maybe 3 times a week. We're not going to, don't be afraid that if you subscribe, we're all you're going to see when you're looking at your YouTube. We're not one of those guys. So give us a subscribe. It really, really helps. And with that, we will see you all next time for more Nintendo Therapy.